There we go. Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Not Our Motherfucking Year. Because it's not. Because it's not. We're Mets fans here. It's the beginning of June. This is actually the 12-year anniversary of Johan's no-hitter. Doug still has the pen from Flash Dancers. That is what we promised ourselves. We talked about on the pod before that we would go to Flash Dancers if he threw the no-hitter. It was
God bless Flash Dancers.
It was a double by Carlos Beltran, but
I'd be so sad if I heard like Flash Dancers is gone. It's probably like a Dwayne Reed now or something, like the third one on the block.
Yes,
it'd be so sad. I almost don't want to look it up.
It's a Dwayne Reed with a Starbucks inside of it.
Yeah, perfect, and half a bank, like a little bit of a bofa.
Yeah. Or do you guys have BMO? Do you have BMO out by you?
BMO.
Bank of Montreal.
No, man. I live in the States, bro.
Yeah. They've been buying up a bunch of states banks, and they just bought Bank of the the Bank of the West? Bank of the West. Bank of the West. So they've been changing everything over to BMO. They're the sponsor of LAFC Stadium for all you MLS fans out there.
This is what I'm talking about, man. Everybody's worried about Mexico, but you got to keep your eye on Quebec. Those Quebecois are coming for our asses.
Yes,
they are not to be trifled with.
So,
hi,
Douglas.
Hi,
how are you? What are you drinking today?
I forget. Oh, yeah. Hey, we got to make this work somehow. The theme. I have 2 cat beers, even though they're not Panther beers, but I drafted a cat in the first round. So right now we're having wonderful things. Here is 2 wonderful things happening only to Jonathan Brooks in his career, and not to your picks, of course. 8.2. Oh, we're gonna have some fun. Denver, Colorado, and who's the brewery? Four Noses Brewery. Check them out. And look, it's Doug? Tigger. I wonder if they're gonna get sued.
Probably. Doug will be hopefully face down, passed out by the end of this podcast. I
had one Gansett at the draft. One
Narragansett.
One Gansett. That's it.
And we have our returning guest host, Josh Rosen. Josh, welcome back. This is like 2 weeks in a row, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm pretty excited. And that draft was so filthy.
Whoa.
No, I know.
What are you drinking first and foremost? What are you drinking?
I am drinking White Claw because White Claw is awesome. Not as good as High Noon, but it's
ain't
tremendous.
No laws with the claws. How many White Claws did you have at the draft?
3.
I will say, for your normal draft etiquette, you were very much in check, because usually by the third round, you start talking over everyone and throwing out random players' names. And you held it together until the very end, and you actually didn't make any stupid trades or bad draft picks. But we'll let the audience decide either of those things as we go further through.
So I'll say this. I'm in a much better place this year. And also,
cheers to that. Or maybe no cheers to that.
No, cheers to that. I'm in a happy place now. And I just people always poke fun because the thing is, like, I work really hard. I'm super nerdy about all this stuff. So I catch flack. But you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm good. And these vodka sodas are the way to go. I stopped drinking beer. I don't drink beer anymore. It's not good for me.
Beer is, Doug loves it, but beer just made me fat, bloaty, and have to take a piss every 30 minutes.
I love being fat, bloaty, and having to piss all the time, by the way. So it kind of fits.
Being pissed off is better than being pissed on. But
yes, that's right.
But I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do beers. So I don't
blame you guys about beers. Like I pump it up for the show, right? But I'm usually drinking a glass of wine if I'm drinking.
Let me tell you guys something. So this will be interesting for the one person who might listen, or the 2. But so
you're already.
What's up, John?
So John's the only one out there.
So let me tell you something. So
hi, Mom.
I love the taste of beer. I always have. And one of the ways, one of the reasons why I love the taste of beer, which was not a good parental decision by my father, but it was the 80s, so my dad was a super nerd. He was into astronomy and computers, and he was in all kinds of clubs and all this stuff. And so when I was a little kid, sometimes I'd get to hang out with his astronomy buddies or his computer club buddies or whatever. And they would all be hanging out late night. We'd hang out by the telescope or something like that, looking at something cool. And my dad started sending me, because he used to travel the world. He used to work for American Express and he did a bunch of jobs. He used to send cases of non-alcoholic German beer to our house, so that when I was a little kid and I was hanging out with him and all his buddies, I could drink non-alcoholic beer. And so it really started at an early age. And I do still love beer. Just like Mike, though, I find that it really makes me bloated and screws me up now. And I just can't do it anymore.
Similar. Grandpa, Doug, you met Grandpa. Josh, did you ever meet my grandfather? Did you meet Dan? Dan used to keep a Coors Gold, not even Coors Light. Coors Gold cans were in the fridge all the time.
The banquet beer.
And he would mow the lawn. He would do all the yard work. That was his rent payment to my parents. He would just take care of the property, and he would always do it with a Coors Gold. And when we were younger, we had a picnic table out back, and he'd always leave his beer on the picnic table, and he would mow the lawn. And every time he passed by the picnic table, take a sip. And I'd go out there on a Saturday morning and mow the lawn with him, teaching me how to do man things at a young age. And he'd be like, "Oh, you want a sip of beer? Here you go." So I did, however, did not like it. And I liked it in college enough. I learned how to chug it. I learned how to taste it, but I never got into the microbrew. This one is dank and all.
No, you've never been that guy.
It always made me full, and I had to I have the bladder of a 90-year-old woman. So putting a beer inside of me is might as well make me have to piss every hour on the hour for the next 3 hours. And who wants to be in a car with that guy? Not me. So that's why I stick with wine. And every once in a while, if I go to work events, which I still have to drink for work events, which I never thought I'd see the day that I would dread those days. I used to really look forward to them. It's exhausting. Yeah. And now it's vodka. It's fucking vodka sodas. And you know what, Doug? I think because we kind of, we're both sales at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
And I think going forward, it's just I'm gonna do one or two, get to a good level, and then just go straight soda water with lime and because or go to bed early.
Dude,
especially for those Vegas trips.
No, I'll say this
for work. Go ahead.
I'll say this too. Yeah,
I'm always working in Vegas.
The thing with the vodka sodas too, it's if I'm hanging out with Allie or whatever I'm doing, just one or two will get me to a point where I'm good for 3 or 4 hours. And I don't feel tired, and I don't feel bloated, and it's just good. It's 100 calories, man. I can't afford those big microbrews anymore, and I still do like them, and I'll make exceptions one day. But I understand exactly what you're saying.
I went down, as you both know, a long road of claws and high noons and all that other shit for a while.
All that douchey shit. Yep.
Yes. Well, I live in SoCal. No, you're not. And it's the truth. Ain't no laws of the claws. Look that up on Facebook. It's still hilarious 5 years later.
Dude, high noons are the best.
They're okay, but
they're all right.
The problem I have with specifically White Claw is what the fuck is it? It just says seltzer and
drink
alcohol. Yeah. I don't know. It's, it's definitely malt liquor of some sort, right? It's just, and every time I drink it now, my stomach hates me. It's just I burp and my stomach rumbles. And so I don't know. Eventually they're going to be there's cyanide in it. And consume it for fucking years and you're all going to have cancer and die, but whatever. So you got to die from something.
Remember NutraSweet, we banned it, but
yes.
I'm only drinking that if I'm in the sun, though. You guys are drinking it at night indoors.
I just don't drink it. Period. At this point.
Yeah, but listen, the vodka soda rankings go like this: High Noon, Truly, White Claw. That's how it goes. And in terms of price, it's the same thing.
You haven't stepped out enough into the seltzer world. There's way better. Truly is trash. And the claws are also. High Noon is the best, though. I'll give you that.
No. Jenny's a High Noon girl. I respect that.
High
you guys know Spindrift?
Awesome. I've had Spindrift. It's okay, but there's a brand out there, Kona. Have you ever had Kona's seltzers?
I haven't had their
Kona
seltzers.
Kona like Kona Longboard and Big Wave. Josh, right. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those two Hawaiian beers. Yes. They started making seltzers, and their seltzers are, I would say, the best besides High Noon. They're not vodka though; they're more like Truly and whatever. But they do like all the Hawaiian flavors in a seltzer. So try those if you get a chance. They're all
I will, and I only got White Claw because the place I stopped on the way back from this morning, only had White Claw and Truly. But High Noon are the best. And listen. And you know, this is a perfect example of how capitalism works. Dude, the pandemic and vodka soda drinks. Dude, those prices skyrocketed. And then everyone said, you know what? If I'm going to sit home and drink, I'll have 100-calorie drink. And now the High Noons are an 8-pack for like $20. It's kind of sick. But they are the best.
Supply and demand, right? That's Adam Smith's economics, I believe, right?
And gouge when you can.
Capitalism, but that's okay. That's why we're America.
It's all right.
We're not fucking.
We're here, baby. We won.
I mean, I'm a socialist, so anyway. Well, we can.
He's a well-known Bolshevik.
Yes,
my great grandfather was a Bolshevik.
I will say this though: if you and I don't want to go political, right? But like, I went to Cuba recently, and it's communist still, and that place is fucked up. And it shouldn't be, because it's a fucking paradise. It should be a tourist trap. It should be what Hawaii is to the West Coast. It would catch everyone before they went down to the DR and Puerto Rico and whatever, because it's the first stop. And it's such a dump because it's communist and it fucking destroyed an island of people. So,
but let's not confuse communists with socialists. Like, we should do this on another pod. Those are not the same things.
Canada is socialist. What's better about Canada than the United States?
Okay.
Tell me.
Are we seriously?
You don't go bankrupt when you get sick. That's kind of the big one.
Yeah, absolutely. I literally.
But hold on. Every doctor is an urgent care walk-in, and if you may not go bankrupt if you get sick, but you might die waiting to get that surgery because you're on a list.
You know what it comes down to this. Listen, it comes down to this with socialism.
That doesn't matter in Canada. Well, I mean, everyone's a white guy in Canada.
So. What are you talking about?
All right.
Let's not do that.
Okay. So
back to the draft.
So hold on. Let's talk real quick about the New York Metropolitans, since we're all Mets fans, and we can probably sum this up in like 5 minutes. Okay. Fucking season bottomed out 2-3 nights ago. Jorge Lopez gets thrown out for fucking arguing a call. Throws his glove into the stands, says he's the worst team or the worst teammate ever.
That umpire was a dick.
I mean, they all are dicks now. It's ridiculous.
It fucking sucks.
How they all think that they're...
He's like, oh, you talking to me? Yeah.
Right. It's so dumb. And Josh and I actually talked about this last week when you were...
Yeah, no, you guys did.
So it's ridiculous. This guy, so quick, you can't say anything. You can't even, like, look funny at an ump. And he throws him out and whatever. The guy has been fine this year. I don't have a problem, but the team has had this year's May was worse than last year's June.
Trash.
And last year's June was like the end of the season.
They do this shit a lot, man. There have been other years recently.
Their bullpen has collapsed because we've overused the bullpen because our starting pitching stinks, and we're not fucking hitting again. So,
shocking.
But I will say,
this is all shocking.
I
wasn't expecting any of this. It's crazy.
I wasn't expecting the lineup to be this bad.
Dude, it's all fucked, dude. It's all fucked. Every year they find a way to be more disappointing.
So I will say this.
Leadoff double, by the way.
They held a players-only meeting right after that. Lopez got DNU'd, which good for Stearns to just nip it in the bud and not let the fucking the inmates run the circus or the asylum, right? So whether it was a good teammate, bad teammate, you can't do that shit. You're gone, right? So whatever is going to happen to him. They've won the last two. Who fucking knows? Maybe
they also fired Narvaez. I like to see that too. I think heads are going to just keep rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Stearns' time. I mean, I think he wanted to see if this engine could still run. Shit doesn't run anymore. Tear it up.
Nope. Yep. So I think we'll see what happens. It's only 2 games. It's 2 in a row. We'll see what happens. But I think there's a new sheriff in town. And JD Martinez, I don't know if you saw what his comments were in the locker room a couple days ago. He basically said, look, we're already the worst fucking team in baseball considered by every other team out there in their minds. So we have nothing to lose and there's no pressure on us. So we can either show them that we are the worst team in baseball and continue to be that, or we can take the pressures off and we can go out there and win some fucking games and see what happens. And since that talk, they're 2-0 against the D-backs who went to the World Series last year. But funny thing is, the D-backs have the same record we do. So it's still early. It's still early. It's only June 1st.
Am I hearing optimism?
I'm not giving you optimism. I'm giving you facts. I don't think this team is – I told you 500 or a game under or over 500. I still hold true to that. I think we'll figure
I'm not arguing with you. I just I figured you were going to go the other way.
No, I just think we're
500. Jesus Christ, are you serious? This is not happening.
Josh, we haven't played.
It's not going to happen because they're going to trade people now. But
but we haven't played. We played like a really tough schedule so far for whatever it's worth. Like we haven't played any bad teams.
Like Lindor is already kind of bouncing back. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yes, we haven't played any bad teams except the Marlins. So,
although I figured Alonso was out. I thought that was it when Alonso got hit. And by the way, that was the game I did not watch, and I was home. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. I watched American Fiction instead. Solid movie. Solid flick.
Weaning you off the methadone.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so
I got it on today, though.
Anything you guys got to add about the Mets before we move on?
I'm kind of where you're at, dude. That was pretty good. But let's talk some football, man.
Come on, please.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I hope Jorge Lopez is okay personally, and his son and all that. I think he's going through a lot.
Yes.
I wasn't offended by the glove thing. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either.
He didn't huck it at someone. He didn't like wind up like if he had canned it.
It was a move of frustration.
Just like fuck. It's like fuck my life. You know, like
it was a move of frustration.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with it, but I think it's Stearns just being quick and swift sends the message. Look, guys, we're not the same old Mets, right? And so I don't know what's wrong with his son and what's going on in his life, but I hope the same that everything's okay. I think we will move him. And I don't think we're going to, we'll either get cash considerations or we'll get a player to be named later. Someone's going to take a flyer on him. That guy's got more appearances than anybody. He's
5 more seconds on this guy. I do remember though, he gave up home runs in like the Giants series the Giants series and the Indian series as well. And this stuck in my mind. You know how they show a pitcher after he gives up the long ball, like the immediate reaction, and he was laughing both times. It looked like he was like he might be a little like screw loose. So I hope everything's okay.
Okay.
That's why I brought that up.
And let me say this for 1 minute. Fine. We're all good people. We all hope that he's fine and his personal life is okay. The Mets still suck and we shouldn't waste our time talking about them because they're annoying and I don't like them anymore. I love them and I don't like them. And we should.
It's annoying when everyone else is making fun of us. I like making fun of them. But when everybody else does, you're right. I'm like, shut up. Like, fuck off at this point.
Did you just call them the mess, or did you slur your TS to it?
I don't have my translator with me, so.
All right, enough about them and fuck. Like you said, Rosen, fuck them. We don't need to waste any more time. Let's get into the 2024 DFF draft that Josh and I have been talking about for about 6 months, and Doug has been doing about 5 days of research on.
That's not true, by the way. But I love playing that shit up.
Yeah, you kept it close.
I don't mind it.
You kept it close to the best, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to.
That's all that matters. And we were trying to crack you all week because you were the.
Oh, you wanted me to take Daniels so bad, but we'll get to that.
I wanted anyone to take Daniels because it pushed fucking another player down. I still got who I was hoping to get, so I'm not upset.
Let's not start in the middle.
Okay, Josh, why don't you lead it off and talk us through the the top 5 picks since you owned 3 of them.
Yeah.
And you made a couple of deals.
And you're basically running that whole section of the draft.
And you got sniped, bro. That was crazy. That was the fucking Dude, that was the crazy part. Let's talk.
Let me tell you something. So I've been talking with Baker. So I had the 1, the 4, and the 5. Been talking about Baker for a while about moving up to the 3 to take Caleb Williams because I knew that Mark was trying to move up. And Tim, this whole time, had said, I'm going to take Neighbors. I'm taking Neighbors. I told him in January he's going to take Neighbors. And here's the thing. He called me today. So Baker and I made a move. So I was going to jump up to take Caleb. And Tim gives me a call. I pick up the phone. I say, hey, Tim, so what's Mark offering you? And he was like, hey, he's offering me his 1.9, his 2.9, and the Denver backfield. And I was like, Tim, you should not do it.
Don't do it.
I was like, don't do it. I was like, this is what this league, the important part of this league are, you start 5 wide receivers. You have a chance to get a guy who might be on the level of Jamar Chase or just about there. I said, if you can get a guy that's going to score you 20 to 25 points every week, you take that guy. He could be there for a decade, and you move on. You don't move back. You don't do any of this stuff. You shouldn't do it. And so he texts me 5 minutes before the draft. He says, I'm taking it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm taking Malik Neighbors. And so at that point, I was like, so I'll have Harrison. I'll have Neighbors. I still have Lawrence. And then at pick 5 comes up, and I'm thinking about Bowers, and I love Brian Thomas way too much. And I'm like, I'm just going to take Brian Thomas and hope that I could score Jaden Daniels a little bit later. And then Mike and I made a move, and I got a guy who I seriously love.
Yeah.
So I think you did a good job. The only thing that I want to ask is, do you wish that you made your trade contingent with Baker until he was on the clock so that Mark didn't have a chance to know to jump up to 2?
No, not at all. Not at all, because the thing was, I knew if Mark jumped up, I was going to get Neighbors.
Yeah, I got the sense that you weren't Caleb or Die, right?
No, I wasn't Caleb or Die because Daniels is there. And Mike is one of the people who I did like Daniels. I've liked Daniels. I've listened to 22 hours of Daniels talk. And the thing was, I realized his upside is so immense for this year. If I walk out of this and I get Neighbors as well, that's cool, man. Like I'll take both of those and get Daniels.
You got a fucking ball today.
You walked out with the consensus 1-2 players in the 1-2 receivers, 1-2 players in this draft.
Yeah,
and you got them at 1 and 3, and
you got the second quarterback and the 4th wide receiver too.
Yeah. So
you have a haul. You're and we'll put Jaden Daniels in your first round because you got him at 13 overall. I mean, between Thomas, Neighbors, Harrison, and Daniels, I mean, you could just shut the draft off right there.
Yeah,
and you're done. So let's just go. Do we want to go round by round, or do we want to just let's keep going?
Let's go. No, I think we should go round by round. I think
we don't need to announce everyone's picks. So yeah, you did a great job. Which your Thomas pick, I think, then threw Henry into his Worthy pick, which I thought he was taking McConkey, and then
I loved that Worthy went ahead of me.
Are you scorned by Sky Moore and you'll never take another Chiefs receiver in the first round?
No. I'm okay. I like Worthy. I think he's going to be good. But I didn't like my worst case scenario was having to choose between Bowers and Worthy. I was hoping at least Thomas or Brooks would fall to me. I've been set on Brooks the whole time.
That's what we figured. I mean, me and Josh were hoping that you weren't, but your running back room is before Brooks was the worst in the entire league.
It's awful for many reasons.
Can you tell the audience who's in your running back room now, including John?
I mean, Brooks, I don't know if he's starting the year, right? But I do have Chuba. But other than DeAndre Swift, there were 3 rookies last year that I was counting on, and none of them did shit. Like a ZC, who you are still hot on, never really produced. Kendre Miller, face planted. And Keaton Mitch, I have hope for him this year, but like last year. I can't really count on him yet, right? And then Keaton Mitchell looked like popped for like 3 weeks, and then tore his ACL.
So. Did you draft Keaton Mitchell, or did you pick him up off of
Savvy waiver wire pick after the draft?
Gonna say, very good, very nice move.
So didn't do shit.
Well,
anyway,
I think he propelled you to pretty much the semifinals.
Yeah, he kind of did for like a week or two.
When he tore his ACL is when the next week you lost, I believe.
Yeah, probably. Either way, Brandon made a great point. This is probably the only draft where the first like stud running back goes 7th in the draft. Right. It was a wild year, man, and I'm thrilled to get a running back.
Yeah.
And I would have been great with those receivers too. So like I was not sweating this one.
I agree. I think this draft consisted of 10 top first round players, which in a normal draft I would say it's half that. By the middle of the first round, you're picking guys that are probably second, third round players, and we got a couple of reaches here because I think Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers should have gone above Benson and Corum and Coleman, in my opinion. But
that Corum pick threw me off.
I think it threw him off. He was someone sniped him. I don't know who. Yeah. But he was definitely not ready.
Well, he is a Cardinals fan.
It's Tim. Tim sniped him because there's no way he wasn't taking Benson.
Yeah, and I almost traded up to that pick, but he didn't. That's why I kept saying check your phone because he didn't check his phone. I'm like, hey man, I would have moved to. I was going to come up and get Bowers at that point, and then I thought once he took Corum and then Lonnie took Coleman, I was like, maybe Baker won't take Bowers, and I'll just sit here at 2-1 and take him. So that all those dominoes affected me. Trading you Daniels, trading you the 2-1 Rosen for Hollywood and the 2-3. But and then just to go back to the first round and put a bow on it. Once you took Brooks, man, it was like you said, Doug. There was probably a consensus of Worthy, Brooks, McConkey, and Bowers being there between 7 and 8. I think we both.
I would have done Brooks or Bowers there. I think with Worthy gone, and that's a no-brainer. If Brooks had been taken, though, Worthy versus Bowers is a very interesting question.
I would have been.
That would have been tough.
I would have been really upset if it came down to like I need receivers more than anything. I wanted Brooks because I think he's the best running back in the class, but McConkey was who I've been targeting because I thought he'd be there. So I'm happy to pick up the guy that just went to the team with the most vacated targets.
Hey, it's target time. Yep. And by the way, before we go any further, I know I'm sharing, but it's that read only thing. I can't zoom in. So if anyone else wants to try to share and zoom in on this, I don't know if anyone can read this. Okay.
It looks great. It looks great.
It looks a little small.
On my screen, I got it all in the middle, and the three of us are on the right. And I guess in the live stream, it's in the bottom corner. Yeah. So.
If we can read it, it's fine, because who else is going to read it?
That's true.
I might need the glasses up.
That's true.
Oh, shit. Oh, Doug's old. Oh, shit. Here we go.
So,
hello, everybody.
We'll close out the first round. I think the craziest thing in the first round is that Bowers fell to 12.
Yeah, especially over Corum.
Over Corum, over Benson, even, over Coleman. Yeah. And I think that if you remember, Lonnie took about 17 minutes to pick.
That threw off everything, I feel like.
It sure did.
that messed up, Brandon.
It sure did. So at that point,
but Bowers at 12 is a steal.
And if I was at 2-1, and if Bowers had fallen to 2-1, even though I have 400 tight ends, I was still taking Bowers. Because I would have figured it out, right? So we can move to the second round now.
Yep.
And Josh and I made that lovely trade of 2-1 in Hollywood for 2-3, which I think was 2-1 for 2-3 in Hollywood, which I think was a fair trade for all.
So at that point, Hollywood was my wide receiver 6.
I was going to say that's like you're so stacked now, like
right. It's fine.
And Mike, you finally got your player. I know you've been shopping, man.
Who do you mean?
It seems like you've been just looking for a body to throw into your lineup. You asked me about Cortland, and
I've been
Zach,
looking for. I've been looking for. I had 10 picks in this draft, and
you did.
The chances of hitting on 10 picks are 0, and the me having to take 10 picks and then put them into my team without, with the depth, it didn't make any sense, right? So I've been making a bunch of, moves around the fringes of my roster, but I needed depth. I finished 7-8 last year. I won the fucking division, or 7-8, 6-7, whatever the hell.
Yeah, we were all like, I almost
right. But I won the division, but only because our division was terrible last year. Because we're all in the same division. But it was because
and all our teams were drunk last year. It was so dumb.
Jefferson, Kenneth Walker all missed significant time last year. And
I told you were top heavy. I don't know why you're surprised at this.
I'm not surprised. I'm just trying to fix it. So I've been working on fixing it, and I think I've been doing a good job of it.
No.
So
no, I'm giving you props. You had a good draft today.
Mike scored a starting wide receiver to move down 2 spots.
I know.
I mean, it was perfect for him. Yeah, and the thing was, at the time, because I didn't get Caleb.
Oh, Burton!
I wasn't going to mess around, so it's fine.
I was praying Burton fell to me.
And I almost So my plan all along was, did I need to take JJ at pick 2-1? Because I have Jefferson. I like JJ McCarthy. I believe in him more than some people do. And I didn't think I needed to take him at 2-1.
I almost picked him.
You almost picked him at 2-7?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't. And and I knew Mark wasn't going to take him at 2-9 after he had taken Caleb, traded up to take Caleb. So I figured I could take Roman Wilson at 2-8 and then let JJ come back at 2-10. So let's not skip around. Did I miss any of your picks?
Well, I mean, let's go through them. So Tim takes Adonai Mitchell, and I'll say this about Adonai Mitchell: if he went to another team, I would think this was a great pick. I do not think that this is a great pick. I think that he went to a team with a guy that wants to run the ball more than he wants to pass it.
Yeah.
With Michael Pittman, who had the 4th most targets last year. Not to say the targets are going to be the same this year, but that's way too high for.
I happen to be a Josh Downs fan too, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's way too high.
And so Adonai Mitchell is basically going to replace Alec Pierce, who also has done nothing in that offense. Now, I think Adonai Mitchell is a superior.
He's a different player than Pierce.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're going to run this. They're going to run the same thing. And the thing I did not like about Mitchell at all is his average depth of targets in college was like 3rd worst of all the receivers drafted in the entire draft. And that's a good barometer for success at the next level. And I wouldn't have drafted him. I mean, maybe if he fell to
no. There's 2 players right there, 2 wide receivers that he should have drafted above AD. And that is, that's Roman Wilson and Jermaine Burton. Those 2 guys right there, way more upside than AD Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling Mike before the show, before I made this trade today with Baker, at 12, I was looking at Burton and Roman Wilson. Those are the 2 guys, and Mike got both of them. So good for you, Mike. That's pretty fucking.
I'll be a little contrarian on Wilson, although I like him a lot too. And this doesn't apply to AD Mitchell. I agree with you. The reason I took Pearsall is just because of the situation a little more. I mean, if you're going to tell me Pittsburgh's figuring out its quarterbacks, then
I
mean, it's like
I want to know. Explain how the situation is better in San Francisco for Pearsall than it is for Wilson, because I don't.
We're in a dynasty league. I'm not counting on him doing anything this year, but
we
know they're not keeping both those guys, and Kittle and McCaffrey have some miles on them. So the fact that they jumped at him, no, you're right. I might be wrong, and just to let you guys know, it actually wasn't McCarthy or Pearsall. It was, and Mark took him right after, I think. It was Marshawn Lloyd. And I was like, should I take 2 running backs here? Because I love Marshawn Lloyd. But I went receiver instead.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I like Wilson. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue too hard.
So I'll tell you, I think to go back to Burton, I've loved Burton.
I wanted Burton over all those guys. So
yeah, and I thought I didn't think he'd be there at 2.8, and you're all confirming that for me. So if I didn't take him there, I was not getting him, and I think he's going to replace T. Higgins. He's going to replace T. Higgins. He's going to replace Tyler Boyd this year. He's going to replace T. Higgins next year. Yeah. And if he didn't have the off the field shit, he's one of the most talented receivers in this draft. So I think
may he shoot. No, I'm sorry.
No. Mike's right. And the thing was, if I didn't get three,
he's right.
If I didn't get 3 receivers with my first 3 picks, I would have taken Burton. 100%.
Wait, we all love Burton. Yeah, I think we're all unanimous on that.
Yep.
Everybody loves Burton.
And then you get down to, so you took Pearsall, who I don't think is a bad pick, Doug. I probably would have taken him at the next pick.
I feel like he dropped, but who knows? I screw this up every year, guys.
I don't think it's a bad pick. I mean, he's got first round capital. He's on a team that's good, and they know he's going to be replacing probably Debo after this year. So I don't hate it.
When in doubt, good offense. Yeah.
Right. And then
we'll see.
Roman Wilson.
But Marshawn Lloyd is going to I think he's going to be a player.
I don't love Marshawn Lloyd. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, he runs like a boss, I think. All right.
No. He's got no vision. He's got no vision, dude.
He's older and he's stuck right now behind Josh
I don't care about that.
And AJ Dillon. Yeah, but you don't
both gone next year.
You know what's important with running backs? That they see the hole and they go through the hole. Marshawn Lloyd sees a hole and 57% of the time goes, "Oh, I'm a juke. I'm not going in the hole.
He's a tiny
I'm going
dancer
over here." Dude, Marshawn Lloyd.
Well, okay. All right. How about this? Did you like Corum better than Lloyd?
Yes. And the thing with
I feel like he's just a rock runner.
Doug, let me put a stat on you, Doug. Marshawn Lloyd fumbled 1 in every 36 touches.
That's bad.
That's really bad, dude.
That's bad.
When you have a guy that jukes and won't hit the hole to begin with, and then you fumble 1 in every 36 touches, way bad, dude. Way bad. Not good.
It's picked, but sure.
Well, listen. No. Pearsall.
No. And one more. Jalen Wright. I just want to see where you're at with all these guys.
So here's with Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright's very good, but here's the thing: in stacked boxes of 8 or more defenders last year, he had something like 4 stacked boxes for the entire season. Meaning, no one like Audric Estime. Audric Estime was all the time. There was a stacked box against him. Jalen Wright 4 times the whole season.
Well, I mean, it's Big Ten football, right? They're all used to it.
Well, that's what Tennessee does. That's what Tennessee does. They spread them out. So sorry, I got Harvey in the background. So sorry, John, if you have.
No, it's encouraged.
Dogs barking.
Has Harvey actually been on cam here?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
definitely not.
Anyway, back to the second. Penix went way too high, right?
Way too high. I don't understand why the first pick that Trey made, he takes a quarterback that's not going to play for 2 years.
When he has Jalen Wright. What is that pick? Right. This is the Falcons.
What do you mean Jalen Wright?
He has Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts.
And he has Justin Herbert. I don't understand that. But I mean, that was the first head scratcher. I mean, Penix is going to be good, but you're going to have to wait 2 years to get him. And if that's my first pick of the whole entire draft, that's not where I'm going with it. But what are you going to do? But so, anything else you want to say on Pearsall, Doug, before we shut it down on Pearsall and move on?
No, we can move on.
Hey, but let me say this, though, because I slightly shitted on the pick. I really do like Pearsall, but because Doug said he's not expecting it this year, I agree.
It's a project.
I think overall, though, once a couple of guys are moved out of the way in front of him in that San Francisco offense, I think he's a good receiver. I think if this was redraft, there's no fucking way.
Oh, no. Absolutely. I totally agree.
But I think for Dynasty, you got to take like a 2-3 year window.
I'm fairly deep at wide receivers, so I felt like I could do this.
No,
keep the pipe moving.
I think it's smart from that respect.
And again, I took him over Lloyd, so I did something right.
You did. That was a smart. That was a smart decision.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I don't hate on it. If he was there at 2.8, I might have taken him at 2.8 instead of Roman Wilson.
Yeah.
So
and McCarthy was kind of on the outside of my mind, but I'm not ready. So maybe next year.
I didn't think if you didn't take Daniels at 7, you weren't going to take McCarthy there.
Although, actually, I had an opportunity to draft May in the 3rd, and I skipped on him too.
Yeah. Wait, the quarterbacks got glazed over in this draft.
Can we point out the fact that I was considering taking McCarthy at 112 before I made the trade today, and Jaden Daniels went to the 13th pick. I got lucky.
Michael Penix went before.
You got lucky.
Yeah. Michael Penix went before.
I think McCarthy's going to pop. I've changed my mind.
JJ McCarthy
and Drake May.
Drake May. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. So real quick, we talked about Daniels, Burton. We talked about Pearsall.
Oh, hey.
Wilson.
I'm sorry. I'm skipping ahead. Vidal. I actually love that pick. I was hoping to get him in the 3rd.
Yeah. So we'll get there in a second. So Roman Wilson. I just love Steeler wide receivers and Deontay Johnson being gone. And this guy, again, had all
right in.
He had all the outside numbers that made him sound and look like a good overall pick. I don't love his height. I don't know if he's going to play in the slot or if he's going to play the 2, but whatever. He's got targets. He's got targets.
He's going to get snaps.
His height, he's 5'10", Mike. His agility is incredible. And his hands are – that guy never drops anything. He's got Michael Penix-size hands.
Right, but are they going to put him on the outside is my only question.
It doesn't matter. This is a
slot guy.
This is a Deontay Johnson replacement. This is a fantastic pick that if I did not have to take Jalen Daniels, I would have taken Roman Wilson. So it was a good pick.
Sean Manea just gave up a grand slam. Sorry to bust in.
Happy
Let's go Mets.
Day. Let's go Mets. So let's move on. We talked about Marshawn Lloyd. Let's talk about JJ McCarthy. What do you guys think about him? Love or hate?
Love.
I'm coming around. He's thrown to JJ, dude.
Love.
Nice work.
He's walking into the team that has the most vacated passes of any team in the NFL.
Now, if Minnesota does something crazy like trade JJ, don't love. But I'll say this. Not only he was in an offense, obviously, where he wasn't asked to win games, but people talk about his arm. He qualified with 1 mile per hour below the record for combine in terms of velocity on a pass. This guy can throw. He can throw. He's real smart. He basically meditates before the game, which gives him points with me. And I think he's a safer pick than Drake May. He's a safer pick than Michael Penix.
I agree.
I think it was a good risk to take. Not that you need him, but it was a good risk.
Well, I wanted to pair him with Jefferson. I traded Mayfield to basically that pick. So I traded Baker Mayfield basically for J.J. McCarthy, who I think next year probably not going to outperform Mayfield, but long term I think he will. But maybe he outperforms him next year.
You know what the craziest...
that wouldn't surprise me.
Wait, hold on. You know what the craziest comp I heard for JJ McCarthy was? By a respected expert. The craziest comp was if he reaches his upside, John Elway.
Okay, interesting.
Boom.
So
I just think the guy's a winner. The guy lost 1 college game, and that doesn't fucking mean anything, right? But it does a little bit. It wasn't like he didn't lose a game at Southwest.
AJ McCarron did that too. Let's calm down. No, I'm kidding. I like McCarthy, dude. I don't think the Giants should have taken him. Still, Josh, do you think they should have taken him?
No, I don't think they should have taken him. Right. And listen,
I like him.
We're talking about a quarterback in the rookie draft that went 210. A quarterback with a lot of upside and a good setting. It was a really good pick. It was a really great bet. If you didn't have any picks and that was your first pick, I would shit on it. But it wasn't. So
even if I took him at 2-1, I think I would have been buyer's remorse. But at 210, I love where I got him.
How many picks did you have in the 5 in the first 2?
I had 4 in the second round and 1 in the first. I was Josh in the second round. So, and then with the 11th pick, I took Kamani Vidal, and I definitely feel like this was a reach. I think he went a little early here, in my opinion, but I didn't have another pick till 311.
It's your 5th pick, so why not?
Yeah, and I didn't have another pick till 311, so he would never have gotten to me at 311. That I know.
He didn't go early because consensus ADP has him in the middle of the second round.
Okay.
You might have thought he went early. He didn't.
Oh,
he actually went in the right spot. I was
just praying you drop.
He went in the right spot. Yeah. It was a good pick.
Like I didn't get Davis over him in ranks and some of the other guys.
Yeah, and I think
Bucky. I'm not a Bucky fan.
I think Bucky's got a chance to be the third down guy.
Yeah, great
out there in Tampa, and he's going to catch a lot of balls.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. That's a bad pick, dude.
I don't think so.
Pick.
But
okay.
I mean, but hold on.
That's roster poison right there.
Let me just finish. Put my bow on Vidal. I like him. He was I think a 5th or a 6th round pick, and he's got basically the old Ravens backfield in front of him with Harbaugh. We'll see what Gus Edwards can do. We'll see if J.K. can stay healthy. So maybe this guy doesn't see the field ever. But Rosen, you've got a big background on Vidal. So give the audience a little bit on Vidal.
So Vidal is one of the best pass blockers in the league, which a guy like Harbaugh is going to love. He's a small guy, big thighs, really strong. He can catch the ball. He's a spitfire player. This guy is going to make the field. You don't need to look at ADP or where they fell in the draft as draft capital. It was a good pick. It's a good bet. It's a smart move. Unlike Bucky Irving, which was made by a guy who does not do any research. The cop does no research. It's a bad pick, dude. It's a bad pick.
So let's.
Yeah, I'll just add Vidal. Yeah, no,
okay,
I mean, just to add, as Josh said, he's a guy who can play any down. Yeah, you can give him the rock if you need to, but he's also not coming off the field 3rd or 4th down. So
no, it's a good pick.
Anyway, yeah, that I love that pick. Again, a guy I was hoping would fall.
Awesome. So we're in round 3 now. Ben Sinnott goes 3-1. Great pick. I think he's got similar upside to Laporta. Everyone last year was on the Dalton Kincaid trade, and he was very good. Well, Laporta was the second tight end off the board last year. I think Sinnott's going to be able to do – he's not going to have a Laporta type year, but he's going to be better than 3-1. Nick got a steal there, I believe. So we hate Bucky Irving. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about Braylon Allen. I think that –
Do you?
I think Braylon Allen's going to be the third down back for the Jets. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Right.
Is he gonna catch a bunch of passes? Maybe. He got brought in for his pass blocking ability because we had no running backs that could pass block.
That seemed very early. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was early, but I don't want to shit on it.
I mean, especially with Troy Franklin hadn't gone yet. Not that I love him, but come on.
Troy Franklin is a great pick at 3-4.
Yeah.
Got no complaints about that. If he had fallen down to 311, I would have taken him. Bo Nix, starting quarterback in the 3rd round. I mean, whether you like him or you don't like him,
ask your doctor.
It's still value.
It's a terrible fucking pick.
It's terrible.
This is not fucking super flex. This is a 1 quarterback league. It's a terrible fucking pick.
But hold on. Have you looked at Greg's quarterbacks?
No,
he literally just traded for Matthew Stafford, who's going to be his starting quarterback. He has David Carr, who's trash, and I think his other 2 quarterbacks.
He could have taken Drake May, and he took Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I mean he is a Broncos fan, so that is a fair point.
Oh yeah,
that's a shit pick.
But Bo Nix going to Denver, if he's going to be successful, that's the place. Right, Sean Payton.
Well, look, they were teammates, right? Franklin and Nix.
Yes, but they're not going to the same team now. They're on different teams. Huh? So then Nick took Malachi Corley, but fuck all that. Doug, let's talk about Javon Baker. How are you feeling about that guy?
Oh, yeah. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Who did I like? Who was I thinking about? Might have been Drake May here. Yeah. Anyway, back to Javon, dude. Yeah, it might be all flash, but this guy talks like he's the shit. Everybody thinks he's better than Polk already, even though Polk got taken earlier. I have Demario Douglas on my bench, and he's like a borderline starter. So I figure one of these two idiots is gonna propel himself under May. So I like that pick at wherever the hell I was, 3-7.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I think he is going to be the better of the two.
Devontae Smith comparisons, like ceiling. So sign me up.
For Baker?
Yeah.
I think they're totally different players, but
really,
I like Baker a lot. I think he's a dog.
Totally different. Totally.
He's gonna go get it.
Maybe I'm screwing. Maybe I'm mixing it up. But
I'd say this about Baker. I love Baker. I didn't have a second or third round pick going into the draft. Mike knows. I told Mike, I was like, I'm basically thinking I was getting Caleb. I said, I'm basically going to have to reach for someone. Baker was one of the guys I was thinking about reaching. If you had taken Baker where you took Pearsall, I would have thought that was a great pick. I was thinking about taking him at 112.
Yeah, you were that high on him.
Yeah, Baker is a dog, DAWG, as people say.
Yeah, I just love the character. Like he's gonna. Yeah, he's
definitely over Polk.
I know everyone like hates the Patriots because it's gross, but like things change quickly in the NFL.
It's new now. You want the guy who thinks he's the best player on the field,
exactly.
Who's going to grab the ball at the high point.
And who are we talking about around here? I loved him more than Polk. That's easy. Brendan Rice, Tracy Garanda. I'll take Baker.
Yeah, I think he was the best player left on the board at that point. Super value pick. Great job, Doug.
He's the best pick. Let's just say this. Baker was the best pick of the third round.
Thank you.
That's it. Best pick of the third round is Baker.
Makes up for my second.
Yes, it does.
I got no problem with your second.
It's Pearsall or Wilson,
right? Third round. Yeah. It was Wilson, but it was the best pick of the third round.
And thank God Leggett went in front of me. I didn't want to have to think about two Panthers.
And then we got Brendan Rice at the 3-8. That seemed like a reach to me from Henry. I don't know if he has some inside information or he just wanted Jerry Rice's son. Probably could have gotten him in the fourth or fifth round. But, he's new to the league. So.
And by the way, is Henry, he knows you? Where did Henry come from?
Henry
seems like a cool dude.
Me and Josh, and he works at Branded Group. And
nice.
He runs the company fantasy league and is passionate about fantasy. So that's all that.
Well,
someone passionate that's going to respond to text messages and care about building a good team.
Nice.
Henry's a very good dude. I was very excited when Mike said he was taking over because he's a good guy. And I know he's already in another dynasty league, so he's into it. It was a terrible pick. It's a terrible pick. I'm sorry. It was a terrible pick. The guy who was not even drafted, or I think it might have been a 7th round pick.
He was a 6th round pick. I love that Rosen's 6 fucking claws deep, and there is no laws of Rosen right
now. This is
dude. I've been studying this for 4 months.
We need to send 4 months.
It's time to shine. Yeah,
we need to talk some more shit about picks.
It's fine.
Picks.
It's fine.
So that we can send this out to the league and tell them to watch it if they'd like.
Let's go.
And then we got Tracy, who Mark fucking said who wants to trade up, and I was like, he's not going to take Tracy, and I fucking should have traded up because that was the only guy. I literally got everyone on my list of people that I wanted to get except Tracy, and that was who I was going to be taking at 311. And I don't know what it would have cost me to go up to 3.9, but probably not a lot. And I fucking blew it. Because Mark is not easy to trade with. Probably would ask me for a 2025 2 to move up to go get him.
So if you want me to make you feel better about
you're paying up.
Listen, if you want me to make you feel better about what happened, Tracy's a good player. He's got a lot of potential. He's super raw because he only just moved to running back from wide receiver. And Jalen Polk is never going to be a wide receiver 1. But he can be a really good 2. He could be a really reliable guy that Drake May is going to depend on. And I think that if you're going to make a bet, Jalen Polk is a better bet than Tyrone Tracy.
I agree with you. All I want to say is that I just wanted to lock up the Giants' backfield so that I could not have to worry about if Tracy becomes the number 2 in camp. I know I got Singletary for this year, and then if maybe Tracy sucks, and maybe it's still Eric Gray, which is who I have on my bench.
Picking up Gary Brightwell
immediately, and then you can trade him and Charbonnet to me, Carbohydrate to me.
Mike has always coveted locking up backfields. Mike loves locking up backfields.
He texts me every 12 hours about Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah, he's like, lock it up.
I've been like putting Bill Bratsky quotes back on the Zach. Like I put Zach's name instead of Bill Bratsky. Like
that Zach Carbohydrate's a real son of a bitch.
Zach Carbohydrate.
Listen, you could point out to Mike without directly saying it several times, and he still is like, I want to lock up the backfield. It's like, look at your bench, motherfucker. Get some depth. He's like, I'm going to lock up a backfield. And it's like, but if you got no guys who could start.
It is one way to deal with no depth.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. What you want with depth is you want guys that you could start. Yes. Not backup guys in case your guy gets hurt.
I learned last year is KJ Osborne was the backup to Justin Jefferson, and their talent is just not equal. So even though I locked up that backup, it was...
Yeah, you don't want to do it with receivers, do you?
I ended up trading KJ Osborne for the backup running back from the Giants. So that's how much he was worth. That's how much he was worth. But yeah, so, Isaac Orendo, Tyrone Tracy, whatever. I think Orendo could be a good pick in a year or two. Jalen Polk, I agree with you guys. I think he'll be the possession receiver. I think that Drake May and him will become best friends, but who knows? That could be Douglas, like you said, Doug. So maybe he'll pop, maybe he won't. And Drake May at the end of the 3rd round.
That's good value.
I mean, this guy took 2 quarterbacks. I mean, you might as well go out with a gun.
Oh, did he really?
He took Bo Nix. He took fucking Bo Nix.
And Drake May. But who cares? He got them both. I mean,
that's cool. Let's collect all the quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback league. Let's just keep collecting quarterbacks.
I mean, at some point I'll need one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the nice thing is he also can keep both of these guys through week 8. So if one of these guys, someone goes down or both these guys pop, or if, we can trade Stafford. I mean, hey, man, I'm just saying.
No, dude, you're right.
We could all make up stories about what might happen with like rabid eagles coming down and like raping and pillaging on the gridiron.
We're in the 6 White Claw now.
Yeah,
we're in the 6 White Claw now.
No, I'm just saying, like, we can make up narratives. You know what I learned a long time ago? It's not about narrative.
Too.
You know what I learned a long time ago, though? It's a real important lesson. Fantasy football is not about narrative. You might buy into narrative because you're someone like me who grew up on stories and loves fiction. But buying into narrative,
you hate fiction.
Buying narrative is a good way to lose at fantasy football. You need to look at stats and team situations and not narrative of what may happen, what may not happen. You need to look at what you think or what is most probable. That's how it needs to be. And the thing is, you draft 19 quarterbacks, and that's great. You can only start one.
Hey, man, I remember who I was going to pick maybe instead of Javon Baker, and that was Luke McCaffrey, who was your number 1 pick in the 4th round. Talk to us about Luke.
I love Luke McCaffrey. And I was thinking about him before the draft. I was like, if he gets to 4-1, I'm going to take him. It doesn't matter how many receivers I've already taken. If he gets to 4-1, I'm going to take him.
I just told you I thought about him in the 3rd.
I think he's better than Jahan Dotson. And it's not because I took Jaden Daniels, which now I'm happy I have the connect. But, man, that guy is a killer. That guy knows how to play wide receiver. He is so smooth when you watch him.
Well, he's only done it for, a year or 2?
Mike's timing out for some reason.
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about Luke McCaffrey.
I think Mike's having...
It's like, time out, you idiots.
Mike's having issues.
Yeah, and that's fine. We're still here. So anyway, about
Luke. About Luke. Like, listen, he's one of those guys. Like, you can look at stats, you could look at analytics, and I do all of that. And then you could also watch tape. He looks like a tremendous receiver. That guy goes and gets it. And he comes from a family where his brother is the best running back in football.
Yeah, and he went. I mean, Corley and Baker went in the mid third. I would not blink if he also went somewhere around there too.
So. No, absolutely. I didn't expect him to be there for one. I'm glad he is, and he's the kind of guy that Jayden Daniels can make better.
Mike's calling time. Not sure what that means because we're still live, baby. And he's got to bounce, but that's fine. This is live TV.
Is Mike out for good? Do we have the rest of this?
He could be, but he should text us or something. Just let us know. And
absolutely.
But
so I'm glad you like my McCaffrey pick.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that was my point. I mean, we're getting into the barrel scrape here, so
let's give Mike a moment. I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay, time for my stand-up.
It's time for the advertisement by Viagra.
Bonix. I believe is sponsored. Bonix. It's for
Bonix.
It's for dicks. Yes.
For your bow.
You've heard of Bo Nix, the Broncos quarterback, but when
can you guys hear me now?
In bed at the end of the night, you may need Bo Nix, the pills. Introducing Bo Nix.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Mike.
Thank God.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that was so stupid.
You're interrupting our commercial break.
That was so stupid. Sorry. I lost audio for whatever reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you Rosen rage quit.
Did he?
And no. No, he'll be back in a second.
That's awesome. I was like, oh, I missed that. God damn it.
Yeah. It happened real fast.
So we were on Luke.
Hey, Tom.
We were on Luke McCaffrey. Did we get through Luke McCaffrey?
Josh and I gave a breakdown. Do you have any words on Luke McCaffrey?
I think Luke McCaffrey was a great pick. It was between him and Jalen Polk at that point. I just figured Jalen Polk is a definite starter day one, and McCaffrey's got two decent veterans that he's got to work through before he starts.
I don't know if Polk's definite starter.
Polk is definitely.
I don't know.
Who's fucking starting over Polk right now? Fucking the ghost of
DeMario and Baker.
Polk, DeMario's the slot guy, in my opinion, and he's got to beat out fucking Juju, who stinks, and
Juju Baker and DeMario,
and Kendrick Bourne, who stinks.
Week 1.
So yeah, I think Jalen's going to be the starter. That was why he got the nod. So Luke McCaffrey, what else you got to say, Josh? Anything?
I mean, he started his career as a quarterback and then decided he wasn't good. He became a wide receiver. And that guy could catch the ball.
Yeah,
man.
It was a great pick.
He can catch the ball.
Great pick.
He's going to be good.
Listen. Who throws?
He's going to be Wes Welker.
You know who throws a tremendously catchable ball? Jayden Daniels.
Better hope so.
He does.
No, I know so.
All areas of the field. He's got a great deep ball too.
Yeah. And then I traded two of my 2 fifths and my 2025 fourth to get Jatavian Sanders here at the.
Can I ask you something,
yes.
Mike? Can you zoom out? Are you the one sharing right now? If you are,
I'm trying to explain. I only have view access, so I cannot zoom.
I am not. Am I zoomed out? Are you? If you look on the live share, it looks fine. It's just.
Okay.
It's just.
Yeah. Actually, it does look different now. Maybe the cat stepped on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with this.
Yeah, it looks fine.
So
press control and
use stop eating my shit, fuckface.
Hey, Doug.
Hi.
Click on the tab, press control, and then scroll your middle wheel on your mouse.
There we go. Is that better?
Zoom out.
Is that better?
There you go.
Tell me when to stop.
That's
I can't
good.
see it. I'm on the other tab.
That's great.
All right. So
it starts with an earthquake. Hey.
So Jatavian Sanders, the tight end for the Panthers, probably going to be the starting tight end. They're probably going to get a lot of balls from Bryce Young. Thought that was worth moving up to grab.
Doug,
go back up a little bit.
Yep.
to the fourth.
Yeah, you're in the fifth round right now.
By the way, something definitely happened to your audio. You sound like you're recording in the bathroom.
Cool.
He sounds. We can hear him.
It's fine. No one listens to it anyway. So hold on. Go back up one. There we go. Stop there. Stop. All right. So Rosen, you got Rasheen Ali here at the 4-8.
Yeah,
I think that was a great pick. Let's just kind of scroll through because I'm running out of time here, and I want to just highlight a few more. Theo Johnson was a great pick at 4-9, in my opinion. Dylan Laub at 4-10, another good pick. Any other picks you want to call out, guys, in that fourth round?
Malik Washington was a good pick.
It was.
It's going to take a bit for him, but yeah, I agree.
Okay. And then let's go down to round 5 and wrap this thing up here. We got I have 1 pick in this round. Josh, you have 2 picks. And Doug, you have 1 pick. So let's.
Oh, Josh. Yeah, by the way, Josh, I was between Johnny and Frank Gore Jr., so nice work there.
Thank you.
And maybe I should have taken Frankie.
So with Jared Wiley, I was looking for a way to take a tight end, but I needed other positions. I've got a 6'6" guy with an extraordinary burst, and I've already got Kelsey, so that makes sense. And then Frank Gore, listen, man, that guy produced at Southern Miss. It cost me a 4th next year, but I needed another body, and I was like, so I walk away with Rasheen Ali and Frank Gore Jr. That's fine.
Yeah, no,
you have McCaffrey and a Gore.
There you go. And Doug,
and Harrison.
Doug, you want to talk to me about Johnny Wilson?
Not really, but again, just a good offense kind of pick in case somebody leaves and he busts out. I mean, Ainias Smith also went there too, but we'll see if either of them are worth a shit. They're probably just Quez Watkins too, though.
We'll see. I think it's a good dart throw for a 5th round pick. The guy's 6'6", and he's a red.
It was him. Oh, and Bub Means. Shout out to Bub Means. I just love that.
Yes, yes, and it was when I traded Ty Conklin for the 5'9". Ryan Flournoy had all the analytics, just not the draft capital, and he went to a smaller school, but average depth of target and 40 time, all the other good stuff that he's done in his career. He has all the tools to be successful. We'll see if he can put it together. Probably not, but it's a fucking Ty Conklin for the 5'9".
Yeah, we're going deep.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I'm good.
No, yeah, you good? We got to let you go, huh?
I got to get back to my wife has a torn calf, and I got to get back to her to.
All the best to Alex.
Yeah, so I got baby duty. That's why it took a little while to get on here. So thank you guys for taking the time. Thank you, audience, for joining us. And
the Vaya con Dios. Bill Walton, man, fucking great guy. Read up on him if you haven't.
All right, guys.
Cheers. Be well.
Be good.
Bye-bye.
We hanging out?
Yeah, let me just